Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Neil Haley Show. I'm the host of the show, Neil Haley. You can go to my website, neilhaley.com, or also totaltutor.net, Twitter, Neil Haley, all those different places. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Total Tutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, Google+, and also on Periscope at Total Tutor. And I'm excited to welcome first from my co-host, Peter Elvidge. Peter, how are you? We've not had the hiccups, so for our viewers all over the world, watching on Roku, watching on World TV, watching on BPTV in Pittsburgh, all these places, we have the hiccups when we do the radio things. That's why you're here. You ask one really interesting question. You could ask more, trust me, Peter, but that's what we've been going through, and we've gone through almost every guest except one. But Star was a very interesting guest, Peter, last week's show. And how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And yeah, Star was a really great guest. And so have the other guests that have been today. I've been learning a lot about different people that I didn't quite know about or that I didn't have a lot of info about. So it's been awesome. And just to be a part of the 2 hours of the show is just awesome.
Exactly. And so we are waiting for that next guest to call on the line. And I was thinking, but then I wouldn't know they're calling in if I was going to try to research a topic. But let's kind of go into another basis. We've talked about celebrities on the Total Education Network, but it all stems from education. And for our listeners out there and our viewers out there, that's what I started out as. I was in the entertainment field as a professional wrestler, left and became a teacher, and Entertainment Bug started based on 88.3 WRCT, giving me an opportunity. Then Bethel Park giving me an opportunity. We were simulcasting the TV show while I was building syndication, to now where we're doing television, we're doing all these different things. But one component that's missing is education, Peter. So I wanted to kind of chat with you about this presidential election. And this might be for 3 minutes, this might be for 10 minutes, who knows in the next thing. Our next guest, I'm really excited about our last guest. We saved the best for last of our phone calls with Patrika Darbo. And Patrika really is interesting because she was a star Days of Our Lives, and I want to talk about the anniversary and all the interesting projects she's been on. But for now, let's digress to education. And look at this right now. Donald Trump talking about, again, Ivanka Trump going ahead and researching, having his daughter research an education reform plan. Peter, that's interesting. Donald can't handle education, so he asks his daughter to do it. What is your take on that one, first of all? I have not read any of this, but again, this is something where I just don't think that Donald Trump should get involved in, because I think he just should not speak about education, because as you're seeing Secretary Clinton and some of the great plans that she has to transform the education system, I don't know. I don't know how much research you've done on this, but Donald finally mentions education. How many days into the campaign? A long time. Yeah, he's been about 11, 12, 13 months. And now he decides to tackle education. How crazy is that?
Well, and the thing is, too, just for disclosure-wise, I haven't done too much research into this, so I've been hearing bits here and there. But personally, on my end, is that if a presidential candidate is going to, like you said, look at education, I think that they need to take the initiative, not pass it off to someone else.
Right.
I think that if you're not versed in it, it's better to say that you're not versed in it than pass it off to someone else. Because I feel like if you're just going to pass it off, that it isn't important, and education is a very important thing to not only our country, but to our future and where we're going, and the evolution of what we're doing, with
right.
technology and our cities and all these different things. I mean, we need to have that as one of the very important parts of the presidential campaign, and if it's being
Exactly.
passed off to someone else, I mean, it's got to be important. I mean, if you're gonna run and you're gonna talk about an education plan, it's got to be you. If you don't talk about it, then it's going to pose some questions as to, do you find it important or not?
Right, right. And so let's look at this in so many ways, Peter. The concern I have regarding this is that Ivanka has no education background at all. So he asks somebody, you think with the resources that Donald Trump has, that he can at least look to somebody for an education plan that's been a secretary of education for a state, has been a superintendent of a major school district, has done education reform in particular ways, all these different things. All right, I'm excited to welcome to the program Megan Cavallari. Megan, thanks for calling and thanks for being on the show. I appreciate you calling.
Oh, thank you so much, Neil. It's great to be here.
Now, Megan, I find it fascinating what your I guess we call your day job, and that's working for the LA Kings. But tell us specifically some of your background, because in 8 minutes we got to just kind of hit boom, 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 and then done. But tell me a little bit about specifically your background as award-winning and all these things, and a little bit about the LA Kings, and then we'll get to your charitable project as well.
Sure. My day job is, Neil, I'm a film and TV composer. And how I got to the LA Kings was I'm a hockey player, ice hockey player, originally from Philly. Okay. And my mother was actually born in Pittsburgh. And we're all hockey fans from Philly. And I was playing and helping out a woman put on her gear. And she was working for the LA Kings. I didn't know that at the time. And her name was Heidi Andrel. And anyway, hockey gear is sort of hard to fit, put on the first time. So I put on her gear, and then I just told her to stand behind me because there are hockey pucks flying everywhere. Right. And so she did. And then afterwards, I helped her take off her gear, which is a little hard to take off. Okay. And then she asked me, we were talking in the locker room, and she asked me what I did, and I told her I was a film composer. And she said, the LA Kings hockey team needs a little sprucing up music-wise. And I said, yeah, I think so too. I'm a diehard Kings fan. Well, I'm a Flyer fan too, but diehard Kings fan. And then I started writing for them, and they kept, they didn't really sign me. I just kept showing up and asking if they needed music. And they said yes. And so they kept, they haven't traded me yet.
So it's interesting, Megan. You took Showtime from the Lakers to the Kings once you came on board. It sounds like, right?
Basically, and HBO and all the other places that I've written for. I've written,
No. I'm just saying. You've helped the Kings become more popular than the Lakers. You could be the one that you made it the glitz and glamour. So what year did you start with the Kings? Was it with Gretzky, right when Gretzky
over
came?
10 years ago.
10 years, okay.
No, this is about 10 years ago. Yeah, this is right before Kopitar and Quick came on. So it was about 10 years ago. And then we had a young Kopitar and a young Quick, and then a few years later, took the cup. And
there you
it was
go.
really wonderful. And yeah. So that was pretty fantastic.
How do you make the atmosphere so great, Megan? How do you make the atmosphere so great at the events? Like, tell us that planning process of being with the Kings to kind of spruce it up and make,
Yeah, what I do is when the Kings come out, I make really exciting music that's very royal but very inspiring to make the crowd really excited. And then I do a lot of the one-offs, the commercials and things like that, stuff when the guys are talking. Doing this and that because the public wants to know as much about the guys as possible. The guys are wonderful, so you score that and you keep the pace and the tempo really fast. And then I do a lot of the comic spots. I do the greening of the stadium, which is a big thing that they're making the stadium green. So I do those sort of spots. I do everything like that, and I keep the tempos really high so that we keep the pulse of the stadium fast and exciting like the game. And as a hockey player, I know that pulse. So I'm on the men's hockey team. So I know inwardly
Oh my gosh.
how fast, dynamic, and fantastic the team is, and how great hockey is. So I have a real thrill for the sport, inside and out. So it's pretty easy for me to write for them. And I also write for the Hershey Bears, which is a farm team for the Stars.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
pretty lucky to write for two NHL teams. So love that.
And then you travel, and then you get close to Philly, right? From Hershey, and how close
I
you
come
are.
home to Philly. I
Yeah.
come home to Philly, and I went to NYU, so I go to New York a lot, and I love that whole East Coast corridor. So yeah, I'm on the East Coast a lot, but I'm based in LA because that's where all the film scoring is.
Right.
So I'm an LA girl now. I'm used to not having seasons, and but it's pretty fantastic. You're writing every day. It's just a blessing. So I'm really lucky.
So
Really
a
lucky.
film composer, define the difference between a film composer and a music composer. What's the difference?
Okay, so you're watching Jaws, and there's this dun dun
Yeah.
dun, and there's a shark swimming and a woman treading water,
Right.
and you're getting scared, and the music starts going faster and faster, and your heart's getting faster and faster, and she doesn't know exactly what's going on, but there's a big shark, and those pulsing strings are going, and she's going to be killed, and we know it. That's the film score, and that film score is whispering in your ear what you want the audience to feel, which is terror. So the film score composer is like the glue that brings all the music together in a film.
Oh.
So that's what a film composer does, and so that's post production. We see the picture, we talk to the director about spotting the picture, or the showrunner if you're on TV, and then we spot it, and then we write the music, then we rewrite the music, and then it goes either on TV or it goes on features. We have a release date on features, and then we have a weekly write on TV shows. So TV is a fast thing, and film's equally fast because there's a lot more of it, but it's you have a little more time. And so they're both really collaborative. You work really collaborative with all the people involved. So it's a collaborative art form. And then there's songs that I write for movies as well, end titles, beginning titles, all sorts of things, and songs in different capacities too within the scores and TV shows.
Well,
so,
yeah.
I sort of do it all.
Okay, Megan, what's the newest project going on? We have about 2 minutes. Just update us what's going on, what's currently going on with you.
Okay, I'm running a foundation called the Talk Foundation, in which I record children who are chronically ill, and also those with children with terminal illness, or who are just fighting with really, really difficult diseases in their life. And I go and I've created a recording studio out of my laptop. It's GarageBand with a couple compressors and some mixing capabilities. And right now I'm interviewing at Children's Hospital in LA. And but I do it on my own right now as well, and I just record children, and it's really fantastic. And I shed a little light in a super dark place, and the kids love it. They have a lot to say. Yes, and that's fantastic. And I also work for a Christian organization down here that feeds children in Skid Row. There's 13,000 homeless children here in LA, and I'm part of the group that feeds them, and it's called the Christian Mission, and and we feed the children in LA. So that's what we're up to, and it's a great challenge, but it's a great reward. So I do those two, my foundation and also the Christian Mission. So that's what I'm up to.
What we need to do is we need to have you back on just to talk about that end of things. I have a connection.
Thank you so much, Neil. I totally appreciate it.
Yeah, and one of my social media clients has a women's magazine for the homeless women and women that are in poverty all over the world. So I'll have to connect you to them. I think that would be a great group. Definitely a Christian mission. But I appreciate you calling, Megan. Thanks for best luck and everything.
Neil.
And
have a great day.
You
okay.
too. Bye-bye. Okay. So, Patrika, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Oh, so I'm excited to welcome the program. Actress, Primetime Emmy nominated Patrika Darbo. We all know her from all the different soaps, especially Days of Our Lives. Patrika, thanks for calling, and how are you?
Thank you for having me on. I'm very good. Thank you.
I'm having this crazy day. 7 out of 8 guests went through in 2 hours. So, and I'm filming for television and going live TV. So you can't beat that for sure. And so I tell us specifically how it felt again for the anniversary of Days of Our Lives. What did that make you feel? And all that.
Well, first of all, it's so great to be a part of such a great family that's been around for a long time. And 50 years, that's pretty terrific for any television show to be around. So to be welcomed back, to have fun at a party, and then I just finished doing some filming of it, which I'll be back on in November. And I'm just very blessed.
Oh, that's tremendous. But then, you've had such great success on that show. And now your latest project, wow, you got to be excited about the Primetime Emmy nomination for Acting Dead. So tell me about this project and stuff.
Well, Acting Dead is basically about a young actor who couldn't get a job until he turned himself into a zombie, because that's all anybody was hiring were zombies. So it's a very funny show, and everybody can go to www.actingdead.com to see it. And I get to play his outrageous agent who has a little sign on her desk that has travel agent crossed out and talent agent in there. So it kind of gives you an idea about how crazy I am on this. We're the only indie show that out of my category that I got nominated, which means that we sort of begged, borrowed, and pleaded with family to give us money to do it. None of the actors and most of the crew did not get paid. It was all deferred. So my nomination is sort of an icing on the cake, and we're hoping we'll get to do our second season, and someone will pick us up or give us a little money so we don't have to turn in those pop bottles.
And Patrika, is what you see when you get approached for these kind of projects is that you love the fact that pilot season never ends. There's opportunities always, and then this gets you back on the stage, and anytime you're nominated for something, for sure, that you see these projects and they wouldn't be out there if it wasn't for all these platforms, right?
Well, that's what makes it so wonderful, and that's, I always tell young actors that I coach and things like that, there are small parts, but you can turn them into other projects because you never know who's watching or what will happen with it. So, and as actors, it feeds our soul to perform. So, just do it. That's the most important thing.
Let's do it. Peter, do you have a question for Patrika? I'm going to go into some of the other things that she's done and some of her favorite highlights, but do you have a question for her? That's my producer and also assistant.
Hi.
Hello. I actually don't quite at the moment, but come back to me. I'm pretty certain I'll have one.
Okay, I'll just jump back to that when I get a chance. He's the one that makes all my social media roll, Patrika. It's amazing the amount of stuff that I used to be able to do on my own with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all these things that I don't have time for anymore. And he just makes our social media component come alive. So that's such an important part of it. And I think that's something as an actress you've seen. Social media has grown so much, hasn't it?
And as the older woman and the older performer, it's a little tough for me because I'm just learning some of the things. And I have a smartphone, and it is a smartphone. It's sometimes smarter than I am. So learning the tweeting and the Facebooking and all that stuff is just kind of crazy, but it is important, and I think it's wonderful that we can be in touch with our fans, our friends, and family just at a fingertip, just doing something. So
when you talked about your project that's independent, I'm looking to start a reality television show with my family and different things like that. I'm a former professional wrestler, Patrika, not a star, but I was in the independents and ran into a lot of the major stars of today and of yesterday. That you can have now platforms like Facebook and YouTube and have the possibility of doing a lot of good content promotion to continue to grow your brand or have an opportunity that could take your career off. So that's the thing, that if you have talent and opportunity, you can go for it now. And I think that's so cool. That's the fun thing.
it's great because, to have talent to do that. I mean, but there are a lot of people out there that, are not major performers or have never performed at all,
Right.
that gain a tremendous amount of following, and suddenly they're in an internet star. So we've opened up the doors for anything and everything. And so if you have a project, whether you think you can or you can't, I think Ford said, you're right. So get out there, do it. And God bless you for trying to do something new and to have something like that. That's terrific.
Yeah, and I have 5 kids of my own. I've talked to certain reality television experts and things like that, but I'm just at this point now where I know there's not tons of money to get those deals because they're getting a lot of people. I have friends that have done shows that I've interviewed and stuff that haven't made much money. If you make it your platform, you have an opportunity to make the most, and you also can just look at these YouTubers and stuff. It's amazing.
And I think there was an article yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter. I'm not really sure if it was there, but it was talking about there is so much television out there that they think that it might kind of implode on itself. And I wish I could tell you more about that article, but it said that there is so much television. And it's Emmy voting. Monday starts the voting. So for all you voters out there, please take a look at my program because voting starts on Monday, and I can't afford to advertise like some of the big guys do.
Oh yeah,
so
how do we vote? Tell me how that voting process works for the.
You need to be a member of the TV Television Academy, and it's peer to peer. And I wouldn't be here without my fellow performers giving me the nomination, and they are the only ones that now can give me the award, the Emmy. So I hope that they all vote, they take a look, and that I'm their number one choice.
Some of your interesting stuff you've done, Patrika, in your career as a working actress, not just the experience you've had at Days of Our Lives. You've been on a lot of different shows, haven't you, and guest starring roles that you come in at certain times, right? That you're the kind of person that they remember you in Days of Our Lives, and then when they have a certain role that seems like it's a fit, you end up working on those, right?
Well, yes, I have to audition along with the other actresses in my category. I mean, I'm a character actress, and there are a lot of us out there. Years ago, when I first started doing this, there would be just 5 of us auditioning for a role, and then they'd pick one of the 5. Now there's at least 50 actors auditioning for the same role. So as the programming has grown, so has the number of actors, and the more people want to do it. And now it's so fast because when you go into a room now, you're basically with the casting director and a camera. Years ago, you would go into the room and the producers would be there, the director would be there, the writers would be there. And so you sort of had a built-in audience when you auditioned. Now it's very fast, very flat. As actors, we relate to, we're in the eyes where your soul is in your eyes and we act there. But now we're acting with a camera who doesn't blink. So it's a little tougher now. But it's, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Absolutely. And you see that the career can continue to rise and continue to have opportunities, and you never know when those opportunities will come. And that's what you train people,
right.
That you said when you coach actors, right? You do some trainings and stuff like that. You tell them you never know when your opportunity is going to come, right?
Right. And I always tell them also unless something is morally offensive to you, and would hurt someone else, do the role because it gives you a chance to keep your instrument, which is your acting, your body, keeps you on top of what's going on, gives you an opportunity to use your instrument. And as I said before, even a small role, you never know who's going to see it and say, get that person, I want to try them out for this role. So it's networking that way is very important also.
I agree for sure. Go ahead, Peter. You have a question, right?
I thought of a question, just for curiosity's sake. I have a few friends who have low vision or who are totally blind, who like to do acting or like to do social media and do different like skits and things on there. Like for you, when you're coaching people for like acting, given the rare occasion or maybe the rare opportunity to work with someone who has low vision or who's completely blind, how would you coach them, or how would you compensate from a normal scenario?
Well, it's it's different. It's different in the fact that they're going to have to first of all learn their script because they're not going to be able to audition or work with the script. And it's tougher because, and I shouldn't say tougher because I don't think anyone who has a vision problem, hearing problem, walking problem, whatever problem feels that they are challenged. They know they are, but they've overcome that. It's the person looking at them that feels like they're more challenged because I think they're out there doing stuff. So it would be my responsibility to help them say, okay, you need to move stage left, which would mean to turn their bodies a little bit so that they're on camera, and then listen to the director. And I think the more we deal in diversity, because diversity just isn't color or race. Right. Diversity is whether someone is handicapped, and I hate to use that word, but whether there's hearing problems or sight problems or in a chair or have no, I have a very dear friend who lost both his arms, who is a wonderful actor. And he's not just working as a disabled actor, he works as a father or,
Right.
We have to get past those things as well as past color and that kind of, and race.
Okay.
So it is a little more difficult.
Yeah. More information on you, Patrika. Where can we go? Social media, all those things, telling our actor people to vote. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. If you're an actor, you already know to go to the Television Academy because voting starts Monday. You just have to push a button and push my name and vote for everyone else. But you know what? As a member, please vote. You can find me on Facebook at Patrika Darbo, on Twitter at Patrika Darbo. My fans all know they can write me at totofans@yahoo.com because I always respond. Because without our fans, where would we be?
Well, thanks for coming on the show. Best of luck again with the return to Days of Our Lives. I hope you win the Emmy nomination, and we'll be airing it on syndication Monday to start pushing. And any of my actor friends, we'll make sure Peter puts out a good tweet to them for them to vote for you, okay?
Thank you, honey, and good luck with your reality show.
Oh, we'll see what happens. You never know. All right, take care. All right, bye-bye. All right, that was the bye-bye. That was the Neil Haley Show, guys. Take care, and we'll see you next week with some more exciting guests. Take care, everyone.
I brought out a show on the radio about 5 or 6 years ago to try to share a lot of the information that I run across on a weekly basis with clients and to share those experiences and the knowledge gained from other people's either mistakes or the correct decisions they've made and their successes, and to try to share that with the community so more people could benefit. So we came over and met Dave, and it was real easy. He said, there you go, are you ready? We're very lucky to have this and the resources over here, where it would be quite expensive to try to produce a show like this elsewhere. Bethel Park TV is offering it to all of us. I hope this grows a lot, and I hope a lot more people do take advantage of this. You're missing out on a marvelous opportunity if you don't. It's really a free gift for you to be able to share yourself and your experiences and what your value is with others at low to no risk. Anyone who's considering doing a show, come on out of your shell. Come on over here. Dave's very gentle, very nice. He'll help guide you through this. If you make mistakes, he'll edit it out and record it over, so don't worry about saying something wrong. Just come over and share what you have with others. Just be yourself, come over here and let other people see who you are, why you're here, and who you're trying to help and what you're trying to say. It is that easy.